Oh my God, did you see Tweet of God? He said, I'm not sure how much longer I can keep saving the Queen.
Yeah.
Eric, it's just basics like that, but you can't do basic fact checking to say no, illegal immigrants do not get checks under the COVID relief. I mean, it's that crime of omission too, right? Of just letting, right? And then I think he also said, oh, prisoners get checked. Well, guess what? They did it under the COVID relief bill under Trump as well. That's a quirk of the IRS that they weren't able to fix and whatever. But that's not Joe Biden. You signed a COVID relief bill when Trump was in charge. Okay, it's just
right. The Republicans were trying to dredge up the prison thing over the weekend. Either they didn't know, or certainly the press didn't seem to be interested that they all voted for that 6 months ago.
Yes,
that you said that was part of the Trump COVID bill.
Yeah, it's a quirk of it's a quirk of the IRS that can't that the IRS has to fix. It's not anyway. Go ahead.
They all voted for it 4 months ago, and now they're meaning, look, we're going back to Caravan. I was going to say Caravan 2. We're at Caravan 9 at this point. This is their break the glass. When in panic. We start talking about how immigrants are flooding the country and infecting the state of Texas, which is what the governor of Texas is now saying. So look, for the press, it should be a red flag at this point. Like, okay, wait, we're talking about the border. We're talking about a caravan of, COVID infected. What does this really mean? Well, it really means that the Republicans were caught on the lopsided. But Washington Post this morning, front page story, I just tweeted about it. Biden is about to sign the most sweeping social spending bill in half a century. Yeah. But arguably the most important first bill for any new president in American history. And Washington Post went with Dems in disarray on the front page.
Oh my God.
Because there were quirks along the way and there were some hiccups. The fact that they thread the needle on this bill is mind-boggling. This is supposed to be the party that doesn't have, unity, doesn't have discipline. This was an amazing piece of legislation. Yeah. It reminded me how they thread the needle on Obamacare when they faced hurdle after hurdle after hurdle, and they did it. And the press still looks at it and goes, not so good.
Well, I mean, you were
Democrats.
You were all over it on Twitter, and you just said likely the most popular spending bill in U.S. history, 83%, and the entire GOP party voted no. Yeah. You said good grief. You'd think you'd spark. First of all, I love that only you and Charlie Brown used the term good grief, which I love. But you said you'd think that would spark a barrage of media coverage about how out of touch the GOP is with America. Don't hold your breath. You said, I'm glad every GOP House and Senate member voted no. It brings clarity. But you're right. You wouldn't know it from the media, right? You said not one word about how bizarre it is that the GOP unanimously voted no on a bill with 83% public support.
We've talked about this before. They have opposed popular legislation in the past, but McConnell always protected the Republicans by not allowing those votes to happen. This is one of the few times Republicans had to go on the record for a bill that had 70% support among Republicans. This bill was called the American Rescue Plan. It could have been called the Trump American Rescue Plan. I mean, I think Biden White House was just being nice by leaving Trump's name off it. But that's a good point. I mean, this has become such a serious and deadly cycle that we're in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I mean, as you said, Lawrence O'Donnell said, passing a $1.9 trillion COVID relief bill in a 50-50 Senate is a remarkable Biden-Schumer achievement. Hillary Clinton, your fan, said the American Rescue Plan is one of the most ambitious pieces of legislation in a generation. It will materially help families in dire need. It will help end this pandemic. It will cut child poverty in half. Lots more to do, but let's celebrate this hard-fought progress. But you're right. It's just, okay, the press it never changes. Like you wrote a great piece, for instance, about 60 Minutes plays nice with the QAnon shaman. I mean, so there's he and his mom, the
Yeah.
crazy lady. She claims Joe Biden won the election fraudulently. Her bogus election claim received no direct pushback on 60 Minutes. Why would CBS, as you say, present someone as a credible person who thinks the election was stolen? 60 Minutes also allows Chansley's mother to spout QAnon rhetoric about human trafficking without calling it out. You said the whole segment had the unfortunate feeling of a rehabilitation effort, and specifically the national press using a sympathetic lens through which to view white right-wing political criminals. I mean, thank you.
It was bad. The whole thing was they basically got this interview. No one else did. And it was clearly set up through his attorney. They clearly set up this interview with this insurrectionist mother. And the whole interview was kind of this gentle walking through of, gosh, didn't you know it was illegal to be part of a murderous mob? Didn't you know it was illegal to enter the Senate chamber? And it was all very kind of, boy, I mean, let's just say it. I mean, if his skin was a different color and the insurrection was about a different issue, and if that were Mike Wallace era, it would be a very different type of interview. I didn't like it at all. And why would you give this person a national platform just so he can, try to clean up his image before his court hearing? Stop treating these people as oddities. Stop treating these people as slightly lost in their life mission and things like that.
And I get it. It's a story. You can present what this QAnon movement is, and these are some of the criminals involved. But then it's incumbent on them to say, and this is crazy. This is crazy conspiracy theory. But this is what this group believes. But it seems like it's just presented as another Trump voter in a diner that thinks
exactly. And they try to tackle the QAnon stuff very sort of kid gloves. And when she started spewing this stuff about Trump hadn't won, that Biden hadn't won the election, there was no direct back and forth with the interviewer. There was just kind of a voiceover. Oh, she's among the millions who don't think Biden won the election. That's not how you. We're 3 months into the big lie. Don't go and platform these people. And
both sides do it, Eric. Both sides do it. Some people think Joe Biden won. Some people don't. Both sides are equally to blame. All right, Eric, thank you. I couldn't get through Mondays without you.
Okay, have a great week.
All right, we linked to Eric's great piece at thestephaniemiller.com.